Morning, guys. Happy coffee talk. Today we're talking sugar, and we're going to get right to it in just a second, but I'm going to give you all of the things that you need to know about sugar. And because I know this is a real one, coffee today is in my Perry mug, and I'm drinking Black Rifle coffee. Let's dive right in. Yesterday, I did 2 nutrition consults, and both of them, sugar came up. And so I was like, you know what? We need to do a coffee talk episode on this, because in both cases, sugar was the obstacle for the person. Both of these women have weight loss goals, 50 plus pound weight loss goals. And as we looked at their daily intake, like I looked at what they're eating every day, and sugar was one of the big things that stood out to me as what was holding them back. But what was crazy was I don't think that they realized how much sugar they were actually consuming, which is why I wanted to do this episode, because sugar can be hidden in so many places we don't even realize. And we get hooked on sugar. You probably know that, because if you are regularly consuming sugar and then you try to get off of sugar, you end up feeling sick, almost like you have a headache. You get, like, we call it sugar flu. You're going to feel actually physically ill as your body sort of lets go of the dependency on sugar. So sugar is really easy to get, hooked on and then have it be a part of your day. So I thought it would be helpful first to share. Let's first talk about sugar and weight loss and why it's potentially a problem, because it's not just that sugar's bad. Sugar's not bad. You've got to find your own routine for how you're going to consume sugar. And so most people are going to have it at some point, sometime. And so, because it's enjoyable, right? It's a sweet treat. It's a treat. For me personally, let me tell you what I do. I do not eat sugar at home as a general rule. Like, I'm talking about treats, candy, ice cream, desserts, those kind of things. I don't tend to do those at home. But whenever I go out to eat, if I'm at a restaurant and I look at the menu and there's something delicious on the dessert menu, I will order it and not think twice about it ever. I really, really enjoy eating dessert out. I like to see what the restaurant puts together. I never feel bad about it. I'm never feeling like, oh, I'm hooked on sugar tomorrow because of that. And I can enjoy something special with the people that I'm with, and that's really fun for me. The only other time I do sugar is if I'm with my kids and we are out and it feels like a special fun thing, like getting a blizzard or an ice cream cone or whatever. That would be how I personally found my groove with sugar. But it took a while, because I had sugar in my diet everywhere. When I was 40 to 45 pounds overweight, I didn't realize how much sugar I was consuming. I didn't realize that I was super dependent on it. And so sugar actually can impact your weight loss in a couple of different ways. So if you're, again, whether it's weight loss or whether you just want to have more energy or better nutrition or you want to feel stronger, sugar in your nutrition is significant. And here's why. So first off, sugar tends to be high in calories. So it's usually in something that when you eat it, you can eat a lot of calories in one sitting. And when we overdo it on calories, we can gain weight. I think we know that, right? Like if you look at a bunch of donuts, if you look at ice cream, we know sugar generally is next door to something that's like a lot of calories. Second, it actually impacts the inside of your body. So it creates, if you consume a lot of sugar, you can create insulin resistance. And then your body is less sensitive to insulin. You have trouble regulating your blood sugar, and that can cause weight gain. And so when you're consuming all sugar all the time, it actually creates an inside problem. It's not just like a mental problem. Oh, I'm having too much sugar. Oh, I'm having too many calories. We are kind of screwing up our body's ability to store fat, because we're going to store way more fat because we're going to be insulin resistant. The third thing is that it actually stimulates your appetite. I don't know if you realize that, but sugar can actually release insulin, which can trigger your hormone that tells you you're hungry. So when you're eating sugar, you're going to keep being more hungry, and it can lead to increased hunger and sugar cravings, and it will make it difficult to make good, healthy choices. It's not just, oh, I want more sugar. It's I'm hungry, and so when you maybe you meal prepped your lunch and it's 2 hours away, but you just had the sugar treat and now you're hungry now because you're on the sugar train. And so you're like, I'm just going to go grab whatever from the shop, and I'm not going to eat that lunch. So it's harder to make those choices. And then also when we eat a diet that has a lot of sugar in it, we're missing out on other foods that have much more nutrition in them. So we're missing out on ones that have like fiber and vitamins and minerals and the things that our bodies need. Instead, we're replacing it with sugar, which is typically like empty calories. And so all of those reasons can make sugar potentially problematic for our bodies feeling our best, whether that, again, is being at a healthy body weight or whether that is just consuming foods that really fuel us and make us feel great and strong. Whatever it is, sugar can be problematic. And so, but there's sugar everywhere. It's not just like eating Laffy Taffy and Now and Laters and gummy bears. Like, we can think of that and we say, okay, that's sugar. I probably shouldn't be eating that all day. But there's actually sugar in all sorts of places. So first off, let's think about drinks. So drinks, you could have, obviously soda has sugar in it, but sports drinks like Gatorade, they sound like really healthy. There's sugar. Sugar's in those. Coffees, anything you order from Starbucks that isn't black probably has sugar in it. Again, you can order no sugar things, but I'm talking about like any of those fancy drinks, they all are packed with sugar. Plus the coffee creamers that you buy. So it's coffee creamer. So maybe you buy like peppermint mocha or whatever, and you think, okay, this is the cream, and then I'm going to add the sugar, but the peppermint mocha is full of sugar. And so that's kind of like a hidden place. You think you're doing cream, but really it's actually sugar. Obviously, you walk down the snack food aisle and anything you see in the snack food aisle typically has a lot of added sugar. So it might not have sugar as the thing that you're thinking of because you're like, oh, this looks like a really great choice granola bar. But if you flip over the label and you look at how much sugar is in there, and especially added sugar, you can see that they made it taste extra delicious. They want you to buy it. So they make it taste extra delicious with sugar in it. And so almost all of those snacks that we think are quality, hey, this can't be that bad. A lot of them have extra sugar added. And I'm not even talking about like the obvious ones. Other, types of things that you would never think would have added sugar have added sugar. I'm talking about like savory things that you were like, how in the world does this have sugar, or bread or whatever? They have added sugar. It's crazy. Another place is condiments. So barbecue sauces, ketchups, like those kind of things have a lot of pasta sauce. They have added sugar to them. Packaged meals, frozen dinners, soups, all of those things. Funny enough, added sugar. And then obviously candy and sweets. Like those are the ones that we know have sugar, but think of all the things that I just listed. You could be consuming sugar all day when you're eating a diet that's mostly like processed food, or you're buying, lots of drinks, you're buying lots of packaged snacks, you're buying frozen meals, you're buying those kind of things. There's hidden sugar in there you probably didn't even realize. And so we could be consuming sugar all day long and not even realize it. And again, it's probably impacting you in a way that you don't even know. It's impacting your mind because it's making it harder to make quality food choices. It's impacting the inside of your body because your hormones are not regulating hunger the way that they should. And it's impacting your body's ability to burn and store fat. Storing fat much more, burning fat much less. And so I think one of the most positive changes that you can make for your nutrition is to do a sugar audit. And there's no magic secret here. There's no magic secret. So I could certainly help you with a sugar audit, like I did with those two people that we did consults yesterday, who are getting started with Fit Me. We could do a sugar audit, and I'm happy to help you do that. But really what I need you to do, the takeaway from this Coffee Talk episode, is to flip over the packages that you are eating. If you are eating something from a package, I want you to flip it over and look at the sugar. Look at this. Look at the sugar that's added. Now, if you look at ingredients, it might not even say sugar. It might say like dextrin. They're funny words that are actually still sugar. The os words, also tend to be sugar. So, but look at the added sugar. Just take a look. You don't have to even understand completely what it is that you're reading on this food label. But if you start to look at it, you could be like, I had no idea that this bread choice that I've been buying forever has 14 grams of sugar added to it. Let me see if there's a different bread that has less sugar. That's kind of what I want you to start doing, is thinking like, how can I reduce the amount of sugar in my daily consumption? And obviously, if you're like a candy girl or guy, well, that one's obvious. If you're a sugary drink girl or guy, you're doing sodas or you're doing like lots of sugary coffees, that one's an easy one. It's not easy to say goodbye to, but it's easy to identify. And so pick the easy ones. And do you have to go cold turkey? Maybe not. It's up to you. I had this conversation with someone yesterday, and I told her, I said, listen, there is a time to step down sugar, and then there's a time to take a full-on sugar break. And a sugar break helps your body become less dependent on it or not dependent at all, and you can kind of start with a blank slate. So I can't tell you which one's the best for you, because some people do best with taking a sugar break and then reintroducing it again in a way that works for your life and your goals, whether that's my style, like eating it out at restaurants, or whether you have some kind of moderation approach that works for you. Other people, it actually is better for them to cut back. So, it's not all or nothing. It's not. If you cut back on your sugar, it's significant. If you cut it in half, so if you are somebody who drinks a soda, maybe you drink a 20-ounce Coke every single day. So you drink 7 of those a week. So I could tell you can't have Coke, and you'll be like, okay, Christy, I'm not going to have Coke, but then you're eventually going to go back to it, because I told you, and we've talked about this before. When it's your decision, it's a little bit different, but maybe that's just too extreme for you. And maybe, what if you cut your total soda back to 3 per week? So now you have 3 20 ounces. Maybe you can have half of one each day rather than a whole one. You still get it every day, but you're getting half the sugar. That's significant. Maybe, again, you are somebody who does sugary coffees and you do it every single day. Well, what if you cut back? What if you cut it in half? That's significant. If you start to add that up over time, it starts to make a really big difference. And so your sugar consumption can just be cut back, and you're going to see weight loss. If you drink soda every day and you cut it back by a lot, you are going to see weight loss just from that one thing. Because here's how it works in reverse. If I was to double your sugar consumption, you are going to gain weight. You're going to feel worse. You are going, like, how terrible would that be if I just showed up at your house and I'm like, guess what? I'm doubling your sugar consumption. You'd be like, no, don't do it. Don't double my sugar consumption. Or maybe you would be happy. I don't know. I'd be like the sugar fairy showing up at your house and be like, guess what? We're doubling your sugar consumption today. But you would be mad at me after a day or two, because guess what? You wouldn't feel good. You'd probably start to get headaches. You'd be having more sugar cravings. You would be not feeling good. You'd be like, holy crap, Christy. This is not good. I'm gaining weight. I don't feel good. I have no energy. But you know what would happen? Guess what? If you kept that doubled sugar consumption for a couple days, your body would adjust. And then you'd start to think that that's your new normal. And then you would be eating double the sugar consumption every single day, and you wouldn't be mad at me anymore, because that would just be your new normal. You would be putting on weight as a general rule. You would be tired as a general rule. You would be having cravings, sugar cravings as a general rule. You would think that that is just who you are, because that would be your new normal. You would have forgotten the time that sugar consumption got doubled, right? Listen to this part more than any other part of this episode. We accept our new normal because we forgot that we changed something. And so when we feel like crap for long enough, we just assume that it's us. We assume that we're somebody who has sugar cravings and has a sweet tooth. We assume that we're somebody who has no energy. We assume that we're somebody who can't say no to treats. We assume that we're somebody who puts on weight easily, but you forgot that one day you doubled your sugar consumption and you forgot. And now it's your new normal. But it goes the other way too. And that's what I'm so excited about for you. If you're hearing this and you're like, ugh, Christy, why'd you make this episode for me? I do too much sugar. Guess what? If we cut your sugar in half, sugar fairy shows up at your house, me, and I'm like, guess what? We're cutting your sugar consumption in half. And guess what you're going to feel for a couple days? Not great. Your body wants to have that sugar. So you're probably going to have headaches, not going to feel good. Your energy is going to be off. You're going to have cravings, all that stuff. And then guess what happens? Your body accepts it and it becomes your new normal. And then you're cruising. You're not somebody who's dependent on sugar. You don't have sugar cravings all day. Your energy levels are better. You are starting to lose weight, not just gain weight. And other foods start to taste better because you're not addicted to the taste of sugar. So when you have a strawberry, you're like, oh, this is actually pretty good. I like strawberries. But if you're eating sugar all the time, you're not going to experience that. So you have to let yourself adjust and get to that new normal. So you choose what's best for you, whether you're somebody who needs a sugar break, whether you're somebody who needs to just cut back. Don't be the person that doubles it. Don't be that person. That was just like a pretend person. Don't be that person. But if you need help, that's what I'm here for. I will talk to you about what's going on with you and your nutrition and make a game plan for you of what to change. Because if you are consuming sugar all day long, it's going to be very difficult to lose weight for all the reasons I just gave you. So I don't know if this episode was helpful. I really wanted to get into sugar and kind of like break it down for you in a way that's meaningful and give you some actual action steps. And your cutting back is your action step. P.S. Fruit is sugar. Now, does that mean you shouldn't eat fruit? No. I actually think 1 to 2 pieces of real fruit a day is absolutely fine. 1 to 2 pieces of real fruit, like an apple, a real apple is totally fine. A banana, totally fine. But dried fruit juices, fruit bars, fruit, all those things are sugar. And so if you are consuming those thinking that they're like healthy food choices, there's nothing wrong with them. They are not the devil, but they are still sugar. Your body treats them like sugar, and they are high calorie sugar. And so things like dried fruit, I personally only do it when I'm hiking because they're so dense with sugar. It's like candy. It's nature candy. So if you need help, if you're not sure, you want to do a sugar audit, please let me know. And we'll make a game plan for you. So hopefully this episode was helpful. If you like Coffee Talk, do me a huge favor. Screen capture it, share it, and tag me. I'll reshare it on my story. It means a lot because when people see an episode that you share, they know that they should check it out. And that's really how people find out about this podcast. I don't have any sponsors yet, maybe one day. But if you share it or if you send it to somebody, then they find out about it. And hopefully this would be helpful for them. And that would be meaningful to me. So thanks for doing that. And if you haven't subscribed to Coffee Talk yet on your favorite podcast platform, subscribe. Leave me a review if you want. If you are not a part of our Facebook group, come on over. We're on day 4 of Nutrition Bootcamp. This is your last day to join us because after tomorrow, you won't be able to finish it in the time window, but you can still jump in. Fit Me community, request to join the group. I will add you there, and I hope to see you over there. Take care. Bye.